Welcome to today's deep dive. We're jumping straight into a freshly unsealed data set today. It's the June 1st, 2026 performance report from Team AI Lab.
Yeah, and it is a fascinating one.
Right, because if you've ever wondered how you actually measure the lifespan of a cultural moment, or, why some breaking news stories just consume the world while others completely fizzle out.
This is the data that actually explains it.
Exactly. We are looking at a real-time observation log of Japanese cultural and market momentum. And I should probably be absolutely clear up front here for you listening. This is a pure simulation of trend intelligence.
Right, strictly mapping out shifting public focus for research and intellectual exploration.
Yeah, there's zero financial or investment advice here, none. We are purely observing human attention through the lens of machine learning.
And the specific simulation we're analyzing today is, well, it's essentially a cage match.
A cage match, I like that.
It really is, though. It's a clash between two completely different philosophies of human behavior. So, Team AI Lab has deployed two distinct trend-tracking algorithms into the Japanese market.
Right.
And they lock these AI units into these grueling 10-day observation cycles. They're basically forcing them to predict what will capture the public's heat, their search velocity, and their collective focus over that specific window.
And the stakes here are so fascinating because these two algorithms, they view you, me, the entire public, through completely opposite lenses.
Completely opposite.
Yeah. So on one side, we have Team Rhino Titans, and their core programming targets what they call structural stillness.
Structural stillness.
Right. So they ignore the daily noise. They aren't looking for a trending hashtag. They are hunting for massive, undeniable foundational shifts, like the tectonic plates of society.
Yeah, they operate on this premise that true momentum, like the kind that registers a massive, undeniable spike in data, it only happens when the entire environment reaches a momentary pause, a structural equilibrium.
Wait, a pause creates momentum.
I know, it sounds counterintuitive, but think of it as that rare moment when a singular, inescapable event forces millions of fragmented individuals to stop what they are doing and look in the exact same direction simultaneously.
Oh, wow. Okay, I see. Which, that sounds incredibly difficult to predict.
Oh, absolutely.
But then you have their rival, right? Team Falcon Arrows.
Oh.
And Falcon doesn't believe in stillness at all.
No, not even a little bit.
Their entire algorithmic philosophy is built on kinetic propagation.
Right. They are chasing the dynamic ripples, the reactionary waves.
So if Rhino's waiting for an earthquake, Falcon is out there trying to map the millions of individual splashes from a handful of gravel thrown into a lake.
That's a great way to put it. They want to ride the fast, volatile waves of daily public sentiment. They think that's where the real data is.
It sets up this brilliant theoretical clash. Do societies move because of unavoidable structural realities?
Or do they move through hyper-fast reactionary ripples of shared anxiety and excitement?
Exactly. And the best part is, we don't have to guess, because we have the live data right in front of us.
We do.
So let's get right into that data. We're going to look at their active mission first.
Yes, the active trackers.
Right, so for those following along, the active mission represents the key words that are currently deployed. They're right in the middle of their 10-day evaluation window.
This is the live battlefield.
It is, and frankly, the numbers coming back are just staggering. So, Team Rhino Titans are structural stillness hunters. Their primary tracker right now is Taifu, which translates to typhoon.
A major macro climate keyword.
Yeah, and right now its momentum velocity is sitting at a massive positive 670.7%.
Which is just wild. And to give that number some context for you, these percentages, they represent the delta between the baseline prediction of public interest and the actual sustained velocity of attention.
Across everything, right?
Right. Across search engines, news aggregators, and social sentiment APIs over this rolling 10-day window. So hitting nearly 700% positive momentum. It means this keyword isn't just trending. It has entirely hijacked the informational bandwidth of the region.
It's like a lighthouse in the dark. And honestly, it makes perfect sense mechanically. A typhoon rolling into Japan is the ultimate enforcer of structural stillness.
It literally forces a collective pause.
Exactly. You have millions of people simultaneously checking the Japan Meteorological Agency. They're all refreshing the JR train status APIs to see if their commute is canceled.
Right, everyone stops.
They're pausing their normal, everyday decentralized lives to focus on one single unavoidable pillar of reality. Rhino dropped an anchor in a strong current. and it's holding firm against all the other noise.
It really is, but then you have to contrast that with Falcon Arrow's active deployment.
Oh boy.
Because their primary tracker right now is Furusato Noze, which is the Japanese hometown tax program.
Okay.
And the momentum there is deeply submerged. It's sitting at an average of negative 72.3%.
I really need to unpack why Falcon even chose this. Because on the surface, it seems like a really smart play for a system hunting kinetic propagation.
You'd think so, right?
Yeah, because for anyone unfamiliar with Furusato Noze, it is a hugely popular tax deduction scheme in Japan. Like, you essentially divert a portion of your residential tax to a rural municipality, and in return, they send you regional gifts.
Wagyu beef, premium fruit, local crafts, all of that.
Right. It is a massive driver of consumer behavior. So why is a financial engine that popular registering a negative 72% momentum drag?
It comes down to the very nature of how that attention propagates. So Falcon saw a program that generates a massive volume of individual financial optimization, right?
People want their tax yen to go as far as possible.
Exactly. People are constantly searching for the best return on investment. But the algorithm, it failed to account for the fragmentation of that behavior.
What do you mean by fragmentation?
Well, you might be searching for Hokkaido crab on a Tuesday night,
Okay.
while someone else is looking up Yamanashi peaches on a Sunday morning. So it's completely asynchronous.
Exactly. It doesn't force a synchronized societal pivot. The data creates millions of tiny ripples that essentially cancel each other out when you look at the macro view.
So it just turns into informational static?
Precisely.
Yeah.
Falcon paddled out expecting this massive tsunami of financial sentiment, but they are just getting pulled under by the choppy, unpredictable undertow of highly localized individual behaviors.
Wow. So in the active real-time environment, Rhino's macro climate approach is just obliterating Falcon's localized financial tracking.
Without a doubt.
But honestly, this is where the data gets genuinely counterintuitive for me. Because the active surge is one thing, but what happens when that 10-day tracking window actually closes?
Yes. The mission completed reports.
Yes. Let's look at the mission completed return logs, because this locks in the final 10-day trend outcomes for previously deployed keywords.
It's the moment of truth. It really is the ultimate moment of truth. It's where we see the divergence between the AI's initial prediction 10 days ago and the cold reality of today's final public momentum. And looking at these finalized returns, I just don't understand how these AI units got it so wrong.
The divergence is jarring, I'll admit, but only if you look at the surface popularity of the topic.
Cool, let's lay it out for the listener. So Rhino Titans, the same algorithm that is currently nailing the Typhoon prediction, they spent the last 10 days tracking Chikawa.
Yes, Chikawa.
And Chikawa is a pop culture juggernaut in Japan right now. I mean, it's an anime, it's a character franchise. It is plastered on literally every convenience store window and train station billboard in the country.
It is universally inescapable.
Universally. Yet, Rhino's final return after 10 days on Chikawa was a stagnation of negative 0.9%.
It completely flatlined.
It flatlined on something that is everywhere. And then Falcon's completed mission presents an even more severe drop.
Yeah, their numbers were rough.
Because Falcon tracked yen-yasu, which is the weak yen. We are talking about major systemic macroeconomic pressure that affects the purchasing power and the daily life of every single person in the country.
It's the very definition of financial anxiety.
Exactly. And Falcon's tracker plummeted to a finalized negative 13.6%. So you have to help me understand this. Rhino barely moved the needle on a pop culture icon that is literally everywhere. And Falcon completely misread the momentum of the most pressing economic reality in the country.
Yeah, they both ended up in the red.
Are the algorithms just failing to read the room here?
You know, it is incredibly tempting to view those negative numbers as algorithmic failures. It really is.
It looks like a failure on paper.
Right, but we have to adopt the cold, forward-looking research stance of Team AI Lab here. Because in the realm of pure trend intelligence, a negative return is never a defeat.
Never.
Never. It is a vital diagnostic reading. These dramatic divergences, the supposed losses that you're looking at, they provide the exact data needed to map what the lab calls behavioral kinetics.
Behavioral kinetics, meaning like the physics of how human attention moves.
Not just how it moves, but how rapidly it decays.
Okay, so
Yeah. A trend, by definition, is a measurement of change. It's about acceleration. So let's look at Chikawa. You pointed out that it is universally inescapable.
right, it's everywhere.
That is exactly why it flatlined.
Wait, because it hit the saturation point?
Precisely. You cannot accelerate when you are already at terminal velocity.
Oh, wow.
Rhino Titans assumed that the sheer mass of Chiikawa's cultural footprint would create structural stillness, but the public is already completely habituated to seeing it.
It's just background noise now.
Exactly. It doesn't generate a massive new surge of behavioral momentum over a 10-day period because there is no new friction. The attention just stalls out because the novelty has evaporated, leaving behind just this ambient background presence.
Okay, that makes total sense for a cartoon character. But what about the weak yen? Because a historically weak currency isn't just ambient background noise. It is chronic daily financial pain. When the cost of imported groceries spikes, that creates real-world friction. So why would the attention velocity on that drop by almost 14%?
Because human psychology has a remarkably aggressive defense mechanism against chronic stress.
Which is?
Adaptation. Falcon Arrows bet that the ongoing pain of a weak yen would create continuous kinetic ripples of panic. They expected people to constantly search for exchange rates, news updates, financial forecasts, all of that.
But they don't do that.
No, they don't. Think about it. If the economic news remains static, if the headline every single morning is just, "The yen is still weak today," the kinetic propagation stops entirely.
People adapt to the new painful baseline.
Exactly. They stop aggressively researching it and simply sigh at the grocery store checkout. The panic just decays into a dull ache.
Wow.
So this loss on Falcon's ledger is actually an incredible piece of sociological data. It proves that even the most pressing daily economic realities will experience sudden, total exhaustion and public momentum within a remarkably short 10-day window.
Think about that for a second. I mean, if you apply that to your own life, it's wild. A massive economic crisis can essentially hit a wall of public exhaustion in less than 2 weeks.
We just tune it out.
We tune it out. And knowing that public attention decays that aggressively, we have to look at how these AI units are adjusting their strategies today, because they have just absorbed this massive lesson in behavioral kinetics.
They're constantly learning.
Right. So what new variables have they dropped into the arena at 0-100 hours UTC for their next 10-day cycle?
This is the new deployment phase. This is where we see the algorithms iterate in real time, and the contrast in their fresh deployments is really stark.
It really is. So Rhino Titans is deploying Warudo Kapu, the World Cup, the international football tournament.
Right.
Meanwhile, Falcon Arrows is deploying Denkadai, which translates to the electricity bill.
It's such a wild contrast. So we have Rhino targeting a global quadrennial sports phenomenon, while Falcon is hyper-focusing on a localized household utility bill.
Rhino's logic seems pretty clear here, honestly. They are doubling down hard on their core philosophy of structural stillness.
Definitely.
They just watched the daily pop culture noise of Chiikawa completely flatline due to oversaturation. So they pivot. They're betting on an immovable structural pillar.
An event that physically stops time across multiple nations.
Yes, it dominates broadcast schedules, and it forces a synchronized collective pause. They're basically abandoning the daily cultural churn for a monolithic event.
But you really have to look closely at Falcon's deployment here, because this is where the simulation gets truly brilliant.
Okay, lay it on me.
Falcon didn't just deploy the keyword for electricity bill in a vacuum. The data parameters in the report note that this tracker is actively tied to recent utility price revisions intersecting with early summer climate demands.
Wait, so they are crossing finance with the weather?
Yes, they are evolving based on their specific failures. Falcon learned that decentralized tax programs like Furusato Nozei are too fragmented to track.
Right, the asynchronous crab and peaches problem?
Exactly, and they learned that chronic macroeconomic news like the weak yen just decays into background noise. So they looked at the massive real-time success Rhino is having right now tracking the typhoon.
Oh, and they synthesized a new approach?
They realized that weather forces immediate, undeniable action.
Wow. Okay, I see where this is going.
Yeah. By tying Denkadai not just to a price hike, but to the early summer heat wave, Falcon is trying to engineer a specific kind of kinetic propagation.
They are testing whether physical discomfort, the actual heat acting as a trigger for financial anxiety, can outpace the decay rate of normal economic news.
Precisely, because when the temperature spikes, you have no choice but to turn on the air conditioner.
We have to.
And when you do that during a period of highly publicized rate hikes, the financial stress is no longer abstract, it is acute, it is immediate, and it is localized in millions of homes simultaneously.
that is a phenomenal stress test of the Japanese market.
Yeah.
I mean, they are putting the structural stillness of a massive, predictable, global sports pillar up against the kinetic ripple of millions of people reluctantly turning on their AC units and worrying about the bill.
It is the ultimate test of what actually drives human attention. Is it the grand global spectacle, or is it the immediate, painful friction of daily life?
It perfectly illustrates why Team AI Lab runs these simulations in the first place. We are watching the algorithms dynamically adjust their parameters, trying to find the exact intersection where human attention resists its natural urge to decay.
And that brings us to the macro view.
Right. Because these individual deployments, typhoons, the anime, the utility bills, they are just skirmishes. Let's pull back and look at the overarching season standings.
We have to look at the big picture.
Because the cumulative scores here make a profound statement about the current era of information consumption.
The competitive analytics for the season leave very little room for ambiguity, honestly.
They really don't. So Rhino Titans are hunters of structural stillness. They currently stand at a towering cumulative return of positive 6,035.6%.
An astronomical capture of market momentum.
Massive. And Falcon Arrows, the unit desperately trying to ride the kinetic ripples of daily public sentiment,
Yeah.
they are completely submerged.
Yeah.
A cumulative score of negative 264.2%. It feels like Falcon is being actively punished by the current market conditions
Yeah.
for trying to chase the news cycle.
That is precisely what the data suggests. This massive disparity isn't just a scoreboard, it's a diagnostic readout of our collective psychology.
Say more about that.
Well, we exist in an environment of hyperinformation, right? There is a relentless barrage of kinetic ripples every single hour. A new policy change, a fluctuating currency rate, a trending hashtag, a localized scandal.
And we're just exhausted by it.
Deeply exhausted. The data proves that the public's decay rate for reactionary news is actually accelerating.
Oh.
Attempting to ride those daily waves, which is Falcon's entire philosophical foundation, it results in negative momentum because the public simply swipes to the next ripple before a true wave can even form. The friction doesn't last.
But Rhino's philosophy, targeting massive, inescapable realities, it yields explosive returns. Because when everything around us is loud and chaotic, the only things that break through our mental filters are the deafening structural events that force us to stop.
The typhoon, the World Cup, the immovable pillars.
Exactly.
It confirms that in a highly fragmented, noisy market, unlocking true behavioral kinetics requires looking far past the daily fluctuations. You have to find the rare events that mandate a collective pause.
Yeah.
And again, this highlights the beauty of the Team AI Lab observation logs. Falcon's massive negative score isn't a failure of programming. It is the exact metric that proves how fragmented public attention has become. Every loss is just a stepping stone toward a more accurate map of human nature.
It fundamentally changes how you look at the world around you.
It really does.
We spend so much time tracking the little erratic dots on our screens, thinking every new trend is a massive shift, when in reality, most of them are just static that will decay in a matter of days.
The life cycle of a trend is brutal.
It is brutal. So I want to leave you with a final thought to mull over as you go about your week.
Take a step back.
Exactly. Take a step back and think about the topics that you consider to be highly important or trending in your own life right now. The news cycles you are refreshing, the social discourse you are letting consume your bandwidth.
It's a lot to process.
It is.
Yeah.
And if the rigorous data from Team AI Lab proves that major life-altering economic shifts or massive pop culture takeovers can hit a total wall of public exhaustion in less than 10 days, how fast is the life cycle of the information you are currently letting command your attention?
Are you exhausting yourself chasing the kinetic ripples, or are you waiting for the structural pillars that actually matter?
That is a vital question for anyone trying to navigate the modern information landscape.
Absolutely.
Thank you for joining us on this intellectual deep dive today. We hope this look into the mechanics of trend intelligence gave you a new lens on how the world moves. Until next time, keep looking past the noise.